They're calling it Operation Dragon Eye, a massive 2-week operation that has led to the rescue of more than 60 missing children across our region, many of them victims of human trafficking. 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser has more on what officials are calling the largest child recovery mission in U.S. history.
This is what it's all about. This is why we do the job. These kids have been through painful, disastrous situations, but at least today we've rescued them and we now can work towards recovery.
And one of the cities in our area that saw the highest rate of success during Operation Dragon Eye was St. Petersburg. St. Pete police submitted 11 names of missing children, and of those, all 11 were located.
At 4:17 a.m., before the sun rose across America, more than 970 federal agents, supported by military intelligence teams, launched one of the largest human trafficking rescue operations in U.S. history. By sunrise, 470 women and children had been safely recovered, and 182 suspects, including traffickers, enforcers, recruiters, transporters, and corrupt facilitators, were in federal custody.
First up here at 11, a remarkable story. More than 100 children from around the state are safe tonight. They were rescued during an operation led by U.S. Marshals working along with local law enforcement. Many of these kids were classified as missing or critically endangered. Fox 13's Genevieve Curtis is giving us a look at the operation and the young lives that were rescued from dangerous situations.
The U.S. Marshals say that this is every parent's worst nightmare, to not know where your child is, or worse, what could be happening to them. Many of the children they found were in dangerous situations. They were being exploited, they were being trafficked, they were being abused. And now 122 recoveries were made during this operation they're calling Home for the Holidays.
Many have been through the unthinkable. They've been trafficked, they've been exploited, they've been abused. They need our help now more than ever.
And suffering from severe malnutrition. When found, they told members of the recovery force, "Thank you for saving our lives." They were later reunited with their mother.
For months, these victims had vanished inside a multi-state trafficking network spanning Florida, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, and California.
Highest elected official. When FBI and ICE teams breached the door, the illusion collapsed instantly. A woman in her early 20s, chained, dehydrated, and shivers from FBI, ICEH.
The operation didn't begin with loud sirens or flashing lights.
First at 5:30, the Memphis Safe Task Force in town for 40 days, and so far they tell us more than 1,000 warrants have been cleared. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Shay Arthur. This also comes as the task force told us yesterday 101 missing children have been located.
It began quietly, with a message sent to an ICE investigator in Miami. A rescued teenager, barely 16 years old, revealed something horrifying. She'd been transported through 3 states in less than 2 months. Moved between safe houses, warehouses, massage fronts, and guest homes disguised as short-term rentals. She claimed there were hundreds more, including young children, who were not allowed to speak, not allowed to see sunlight, and not allowed to leave without permission. Her description matched intelligence reports from Dallas and Jacksonville, where agents had noticed patterns of similar movement, women and minors disappearing and reappearing in different states.
Well, tonight, a rare, unfiltered look inside the largest child recovery operation in U.S. history.
60 children and teens being trafficked in Tampa Bay are safer tonight. U.S. Marshals led a 2-week operation to recover critically missing and endangered children. The Marshals, along with local law enforcement agencies, were able to locate the missing kids ages 9 to 17. And police also made 8 arrests.
Federal teams fought across Los Angeles. A different kind of battle unfolded inside the highest floors of the city's most symbolic building, the Los Angeles City Hall, the headquarters of Governor Victor Hawthorne's political power. For years, he had walked its marble corridors as a celebrated message was unmistakable.
This single confession triggered a federal emergency meeting between FBI's Violent Crimes Against Children Unit, ICE Homeland Security Investigations, the U.S. Marshals, state police, local sheriffs, and special military intelligence partners. What they uncovered next blew the case wide open. Through phone forensics, surveillance footage, cryptocurrency tracing,
the cartel boss running the net.
Investigators discovered a system unlike anything they'd seen before. Instead of
Move the Kids Friday. All units ready. That Friday would become the day America fought back. Before sunrise, tactical teams assembled in 18 states, destroying phones, flushing cash, hotels, storage buildings, suburban homes, and trucks.
calling it Operation Dragon Eye, a massive 2-week operation that led to the rescue of more than 60 missing children across our region, many of them victims of human trafficking.
10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser reports on what officials are calling the largest child recovery mission in U.S. history.
Depots. Body cameras captured chilling moments. Doors kicked open. Children cried. Within hours, 100 children were rescued. Some as young as 8 years old. 140 adults, mostly victims themselves, were identified and taken to...
It's a black case. Do you mind handing it?
240 women being exploited, many trafficked from out of state. Federal prosecutors confirmed the scale of Governor Hawthorne's empire. The decision was made. Los Angeles would become the center of the largest political crime takedown in ICEHSI, DEA, and U.S. Marshals signed the final execution orders. This would not strike teams fanned across corridors of Koreatown, Hollywood, Inglewood, and the Valley. DEA fast units prepositioned near Hawthorne's warehouse hubs.
That's when Washington
There's a move now in California to make it illegal for federal law enforcement officers from
real time. When agents come briefing,
far more sinister than they had anticipated. Heroin, tunnels, a captive woman. These were just windows into a vast front businesses throughout Los Angeles County. On paper, they were bars. The standoff was short but violent. Suspects opened fire from behind stacked pallets, forcing agents to advance under cover of ballistics. And the war had finally erupted into daylight comment FBI to show your support for the agents risking their lives for economic revitalization and community protection. But now, those same hallways were about to witness the truth he had buried under privilege and influence. At 5:11 a.m., as the raids rippled through the city, a classified order moved through the joint operation. Thorne tried one final plea. You don't know who owns this city. But the city had already answered outside. Sirens echoed. Evidence trucks rolled. Victims were being rescued. Warehouses were falling. And now, its governor, once untouchable, stood in handcuffs, surrounded by the federal badges he thought he prized. Los Angeles was no longer the same city it had been just hours before. What began as a targeted operation cases, FBI agents sprinted through the lobby, put 1,000 counterfeit fentanyl pills, $14.7 million in illicit cash. As news leaked that City Hall had been breached and the governor arrested reporters crowded outside barricades, shouting questions, cameras flashing like relief as names appeared on rescue lists. Other points in Nevada and Arizona. Investigators uncovered bank transfers routed through New Mexico, and a chilling discovery surfaced, encrypted files referencing meetings with...
Instead, they found rows of partitioned cubicles, each containing blankets, clothing piles, and personal belongings. It wasn't storage, it was captivity. Nearly 70 people were rescued from this building alone. Across all sites, traffickers resisted.
Some being transported through safe corridors where local police never intervened. Former state employees revealed forced reassignment after questioning licensing violations. One whistleblower admitted she tried to report drones glided and total raid had turned into a national reckoning. The fall of a corrupt king and the birth of a federal firestorm that would soon engulf Florida's law enforcement. Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Federal analysts confirmed the Eclipse network wasn't homegrown. It was engineered by Mexico's most not gangsters but private contractors hired by Lopez's network. Opened fire as federal teams breached the entrance. Slot machines shattered under the gunfire. Poker chips scattered across the carpet like shrapnel. The standoff left in spreadsheets cross-linked with payment codes and offshore deposits. The infection...
In Dallas, a special rescue team found 32 children inside a locked garage behind a massage front. Some hadn't eaten in 2 days. A little boy around 9 years old stood at the door waiting for help because he heard the sirens and thought the police might be coming to save them. He was right. By late morning, 182 suspects were arrested. Among them, recruiters who targeted vulnerable women, transporters who moved victims between states, fake business owners who laundered money, violent enforcers armed with illegal firearms, 2 former employees from state agencies who provided forged documents, members of an international crime group coordinating the network. Many suspects tried denying involvement, but digital evidence, messages, photos, financial logs, told the real story. One suspect even attempted to claim the victims were visiting employees, but agents had already recovered restraining devices, tracking logs, and surveillance recordings proving otherwise. Victims were transported to emergency care centers, staffed with trauma specialists, translators, nurses, and FBI victim assistance teams. Each person received clothing, food, water, medical evaluation, and legal support. Federal social workers began the long process of documenting identities, contacting relatives, and arranging safe shelters. For many, it was the first time they had been in a safe environment in months. Some cried in relief, Others sat silently, overwhelmed by freedom. A few asked one heartbreaking question.
Darkness.
Are we really
Teams
safe
descended
now?
on Greenville,
and the answer,
Clarksdale,
for the
and
first time in a
Greenwood,
long time,
kicking down
was
doors,
yes.
sealing.
The Attorney General announced the results in a televised briefing, calling the operation a national victory against modern-day slavery. The Secretary of Homeland Security emphasized that the United States would pursue every international connection tied to the network. Several governors publicly thanked federal agents. Military partners, though unnamed, were recognized for their technological support. But behind every statement was a simple truth. This operation exposed how deeply human trafficking had silently embedded itself inside everyday neighborhoods. This wasn't just a raid, it was a battle against a system built on silence, fear, and exploitation. And while 470 lives were saved today, thousands more across the country are still hidden, still waiting, still hoping someone will come. That's why your awareness matters. If you support the agents, officers, analysts, and responders who risk their lives for rescues like this, hit like so this story reaches more people. Comment honor to show appreciation for the men and women who carried out this operation. And subscribe so this video doesn't disappear into the algorithm, because these stories must be told. Justice isn't automatic, it's enforced. And today, it saved 470 lives.